YouTube be taking forever. Maybe if I put it on the. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Why it sound like there's somebody up on the roof? It is such a nice day out here. Ooh, the roses are growing. They are so big. I wonder what kind of. I need to do some research. Let me show y'all how big these roses have gotten. Can y'all see it? Let's see. Look at how big they done got. And it don't take that much time for them to grow. Well, I'm gonna get started, and y'all can come in when y'all come in. So it is coming up to Mother's Day. It'll be Mother's Day Sunday, and I know everybody has a story to tell about their mothers. Everybody got a mama. Everybody that is here has a mother. You didn't just get here by yourself. Somebody had to bring you here. So I have a story about my mother. So let me see if I can find a picture of her. As a matter of fact, I ran across a few pictures. You know how Facebook do you. I did not tell them people to ring the doorbell. I think that's Gizmo's food. Let me see if I can find this picture because my husband is in there, so he'll get it. So this is a picture. This is not a good picture though, but this is a picture of me. I'm at the bottom, my mother, and my brothers. I think it should be another picture of just me and my mom. I don't have a whole lot of pictures. Oh yeah, that was the Gizmo's food because I just got a text message saying your order was dropped off. I don't have, yeah, plus I hear Gizmo barking. I don't have a whole lot of pictures of me and my mother because we actually did not spend a whole lot of time together growing up. Like I did see her, and I do have some pictures, but they're in storage. I don't have a lot of pictures on my phone. I thought there was one of me and her together. I'm still looking while y'all coming in. Because I know YouTube will eventually send out notifications. There should be a picture of me and her together when I was younger. Oh, here it is. So, this is a picture of me and my mom when I was young. So, my mom had me when she was, I think, 17. I think she was a senior in high school when she got pregnant. So, like 17, or I'm going to give her 17 or 18 years old when she had me. And she had some issues with alcohol, and which led her to not be able to raise me. So she ended up giving me to my aunt, who I call my mother because she raised me. She adopted me and she raised me. So to me, that's my mother. Because my biological mother, she didn't have custody of me. We lived in the same city, but she didn't raise me. She gave me up for adoption. So my adopted mother was my mother. Now both of them have since passed away. They both are deceased. My biological mother, she passed away first. She had cancer. And then my adopted mother, she passed in 2011. She had cancer also. So they're both gone now. And if they weren't, I probably would have had them on the channel by now. So my relationship with my biological mother was very off and on. There would be times when she would be sober, which wasn't often. And she would find me and we would talk for a while, and then she would go back on her binges of drinking. So I'm going to go back to when I was young. There are 4 of us. My mother had 4 kids. She had 2 to pass away, so she would have had 6. My sister, who had the same father as me, passed away from SIDS, and then she had another child, to a boy, is what people are telling me, to pass away also. So after my mother had me and my sister, and my dad passed away, she met somebody else and started having kids with that person. And she had all boys with them. So one day, I guess my mom got on a drunken binge and walked away from her kids, just left them in the apartment that she was living in, and just didn't come back. And so by the time my brother, the oldest boy of the 3, by the time he went and finally knocked on the neighbor's door and asked for some milk for his baby brother, they think she had been, oh God, a wasp or something. They think she had been gone for at least 2 weeks. They are estimating she had been gone 2 weeks. This is what they think. Because my brother at the time was only like 8 years old. And he was taking care of himself and his 2 younger brothers. He couldn't have been no more than 8 or 9 years old. And he took care of them until the food ran out. And that's when he went next door to the neighbor's house and asked them if they had, could they give her some food until his mom came home. And the neighbor called the police. So that's when they were removed from her custody. And I guess my mom eventually came back and all the kids were gone, and they arrested her. And she didn't do any, I don't know if she got a good lawyer or what. There was an article in the newspaper, like it made the newspaper and everything. And my aunt, she had the article in like a scrapbook or something. But she had the article, and I read it when I was like either a teenager or something, so I don't remember all of the particulars. But my mother didn't do any major time, but she did lose custody of her remaining children, never to get custody again. And when I say lose custody, I mean she lost custody. It wasn't like, if you get yourself together, you can get your kids back. No, she lost custody of them. That, I guess, that was part of the condition of her not going to jail. So, of course, after losing custody of her kids, that didn't do anything but make her drink more. So she was like drinking, and there were a lot of times that I didn't see her at all. And I wasn't really tripping because, to be honest, I didn't even really know her like that. So I wasn't, I was, living the life of a happy kid. Like, I was happy. My mother that adopted me, she was doing everything she could for me. She was taking care of me. I was well taken care of. So it wasn't like I felt like I was missing anything with my biological mother. So in my teenage years, I can't really say that we had a relationship at all, really. So when I got in my 20s, after I had a child, I wanted my child to, to meet her and stuff. I don't know why. Well, I went to therapy and, had to unpack all of this stuff in therapy. And we did, I took my kids around her and they met her and stuff. And we started having some adult conversations as much as she was able or willing to speak on, which was just like in spurts. I know that she carried a lot of guilt and shame around, what happened to her and what she did and who she was as a mother. I know she carried so much guilt. And when I was in my 20s, I didn't have the same understanding that I have now. And in some weird way, I wanted her to carry that guilt. I felt like she deserved to carry that. That's your burden to carry. You messed up, so you should carry it. Even as a Christian, and I prided myself, in my teen years and in my 20s of being a Christian and, loving the Lord, but I extended absolutely no grace to her, knowing that she was an alcoholic. So fast forward, I became a drug and alcohol therapist, I guess. I went to college and took that course on, counseling people who have addictions to drugs and alcohol. And that really opened me up a lot. And on top of that, I started working with a ministry. The pastor at this ministry, his sister was an alcoholic. And he had started a ministry to help people. He opened up a house that, where people could come and detox and, really help people get on their feet. And it was dedicated to his sister who was an alcoholic. So I started, working with people who had these addictions and stuff on a spiritual level. And it opened me up more to really understand and really start to give people grace. And at this time, my mother was still alive. So I started to really feel differently about her and her situation, and what she had went through and stuff. So then during my I was just getting ready to graduate from college. My mother got really sick. My biological mother, she got really sick and she passed away. So before she passed away, they had called me to the hospital and they were like, "You need to come now." Now, I ain't even speak on my mom's side of the family, how dirty they did me. Like I had did something and all of this stuff was on my mother. But my mother's side of the family just kind of like act like I didn't exist. Even to this day, they don't talk to me. They act like I don't exist, or like my mama didn't have no kids. After her boys were taken away from her, and after I was adopted, they act like she didn't have any children. Even my own grandmother, which is my mother's mother, basically act like I wasn't one of her I wasn't her first grandchild, her oldest grandchild. So anyway, one of my aunts called and was like, "You need to come to the hospital because your mom is really sick. And if you want to see her before she passes away, you need to come." So I did. I dropped everything and I went up there. And when I got up there, she was still, she was still able to talk. And, she was still, you could tell she was real sick. But she was still talking when I first got up to the hospital. And my aunt, my cousin's mom, wanted my mother to make a deathbed confession because my father was attacked, and my mother and I think two of her sisters were there when it happened. So my aunt tried to get my mother to make a deathbed confession, I guess to clear herself of my father's death. And my mother wouldn't do it. And I found it really strange that, because I had been told that my mom had something to do with my dad's death. That was why she drank so much. It wasn't that she was just an alcoholic. She was trying to drink away the fact that she had something to do with the death of the man that she had two children by. So while my mom is dying, my aunt said, "You didn't have anything to do with his death, right? You didn't do anything." And I think her sister knew too that my mom had been suffering all this time because of what she was holding on to. And I think her sister was trying to get her to, release that before you pass away. And my mother wouldn't. So whatever secret her and her sister had, because my dad wasn't able to clear it up before he passed away, whatever secret it was, my mom took that secret to her grave. So I don't know if she had anything to do with his death. One day when she was drunk, she called me and she said she did. But, a lot of people say a drunk, what is it? A drunk tongue speaks a sober mind or something. People tell the truth when they drunk. So in her being drunk, she said that she did have something to do with it. And my mother would get drunk a lot and call me and cry and, talk about my dad. So I know something happened. I just don't know what happened. And will never know what happened because her sister refuses to talk to me, and my mom has passed away. Because I asked her sister after, after my mom's memorial service, and, I gave people a chance to calm down and, you know, grieve. I asked my aunt, like, what did you mean? And she said, I can't talk to you about it right now, but I'll talk to you about it one day. And that's been over 10 years. And she hasn't talked to me. So I guess she gonna wait until she have her deathbed confession to tell me what really happened. So for a long time, I didn't feel sorry for my mother, and I just was like, whatever you get is what you deserve. But as I got older and I really thought about, like, this woman, lost my dad, she lost my sister, who was only a couple of months old. She lost my dad first. She was pregnant when she lost my dad. And then after you lose the man that you love, you have his baby. This is a Tyler Perry movie. Tyler Perry, you better not take my story, okay? After you lose the man that you love, you have his baby, and then that baby dies in the middle of the night. And then you try to get your life together with another man, and you have kids by that person. And then I guess one day he was like, these kids is too much. Let's just leave and go on vacation. And she goes on vacation, and she comes back and those kids are gone. What do you have? You don't have anything but the bottle. In her eyesight, that was all she had. And so that was how she lived the rest of her life. So how did I live? I had the best mother in the world raise me. She raised me in the church. She, raised me with good morals. She, all of those little things. Don't leave the house without money in your pocket. Always have enough money to at least make a phone call. Don't go on a date, bro. I mean, all of those little things that you want to give to your child to prepare them for life, she gave me. And this is someone who was born in 1917 with only a 6th grade education. She gave me everything she had. She poured into me everything that she had. So I feel like I had the best childhood. I would come home from school and my mother cooked. I didn't know what McDonald's was until, when did McDonald's open? I don't know. But I didn't know what McDonald's was until I was almost a teenager. Because my mama cooked. Okay? Like, I eaten out, like me and my husband were talking, and because he kind of grew up the same way I did. His parents cooked food. We didn't go out and eat. Like, I think about my kids. Like, my kids didn't get the same growing up that I got. My kids ate a lot of McDonald's and Hot Pockets and all that kind of stuff. I didn't eat that. My mama cooked greens, beans, spaghetti, fried chicken, steaks, pork chops. Like we was eating home cooked food. Biscuits, homemade biscuits in the morning, eggs, ham, sausage, bacon. I didn't eat a lot of junk. Now, you know, stuff that you go to the store and get potato chips and cookies and stuff like that. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But my mom cooked real food. Like I was coming home from school and you open that door and you know something in there is cooking because you can smell it. My mom made cakes and homemade pies. My mother was the pound cake lady at our church. So it was always a pound cake on the weekends. Oh, she was gonna cook a pound cake Saturday because she had to take it to church Sunday. Saturday night, it was gonna be a pound cake cooking. The house would be smelling good. You know, my mother took good care of me. You know, she dressed me nice. I always, looked nice, had nice clothes. Like she went totally overboard when it came to clothes. Because I remember in the fourth grade, the only thing I didn't have going to school was a briefcase. My mama had me in a three-piece polyester suit in like the fourth grade because I had a seamstress making my clothes. My mama was like, I don't want my baby out here looking like everybody else. Yeah, but you sent me to school looking like a little attorney. The only thing I didn't have was my little briefcase. But she took care of me though. I was her baby. She poured everything she had into me because her husband, who was my uncle, he passed away when I was like 5 years old. He actually passed away before the adoption was final. And, I guess, not I guess, she told me when her husband died, she just gave everything she had to me. All of the love that she had, she just poured it into me. Like, she didn't date. She said she lost the love of her life, so she didn't want anybody else. She just wanted to raise me. She wanted to take care of me and make sure I had everything she used to say, I'm going to make sure you have everything you need and give you some of your wants because your wants may not always be what you need, but I'm going to make sure you have what you need. You need a roof over your head and food and clothes. Now you want Guess jeans and Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, but you don't necessarily need those. Your needs may be Kmart. And my needs was Kmart sometimes. But not when I went to church. Because, when I went to church, I was her little doll that she had to dress up and primp and all that kind of stuff. So my church clothes always came from somewhere nice. But my mother dressed nice. She dressed really nice. So she wasn't going to be out here sharp as a tack and her child looking like a little bum. No. I looked as good as she did. Well, now I couldn't look as good as her because she was like church hat, gloves, purse matched the shoes, to the nines. To the nines. The purse and the shoes always matched because we used to go to this little store downtown that sold all the church lady stuff. The hats, the gloves, the shoes, the purses, the stockings, all that shit matched. So my mother had like a special store that she went to get all that. The gloves, the purse, the shoes, they was matching. And she didn't always put the gloves on. She was one of those refined ladies that just held the gloves. What? You just hold the gloves a certain way and just make you look classy. That purse on your arm, not the clutch, the one with the little strap, and you just put your arm through there and the purse is just hanging ever so gently on your arm to just make you look classy. The stockings, the shiny patent leather shoes, the church lady hat. She was gonna wear that church lady hat, okay? Her and all her friends. It was a group of them, and people at my church would call them the Golden Girls because they would always be together, and they were all, kind of like around the age of the Golden Girls, and they was clean. Okay, they was all clean. Always came to church clean. That's how I grew up. I graduated from high school, and you talk about somebody that was proud because my mother, she only had a sixth grade education. So to have a child that graduated from high school and then went on to college was just such a huge thing for her. It was such a huge thing, and she was so proud of me. And so, I mean, all of my accomplishments, like we had the type of relationship where we talked to each other 4 and 5 times a day. My mother would call me and be like, and she knew that I hated Jeopardy. I did not watch any of those shows, but she would call me just to tell me who was winning on Jeopardy. Oh, look at so and so. Click. I would have to call her back and be like, "What are you watching?" Jeopardy. Call me back. Click. Like she was the queen of hanging up the phone super fast. Or if something was going on the news, she would just call you and be like, "Turn on channel 7, click." And you better turn on channel 7 because when the situation, whatever it was, when it was over, she was going to call you back to talk about it. And then if you be like, "I didn't get a chance to watch it." Why? You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing else. Why you can't watch the news? You don't know what's going on in the world. We would argue over what was going on in the world because I refused to watch it. Sometimes I listen to people on social media and I know that we've all had issues with our mothers. There are no perfect mothers. I'm pretty sure my kids will say that I've done some things to them that they felt hurt them. I'm not claiming to be no perfect mother because when I had kids, I was so young. I was in my 20s, a totally different person than I am now. I was still figuring out life. I was 20 years old, going through a divorce with 2 kids. So, no, I wasn't the perfect mother. And I'm not even going to say that I was. And if I did something to, hurt my children, I hope that they forgive me. I pray to God that they forgive me and understand that I wasn't perfect. No mother is perfect. Unless you have a mother who, even if your mother was drug addicted, you still have to give her some grace. Because in a lot of these situations, she's not able to control what she's going through. My mother was an alcoholic. She was an alcoholic. And the stuff that, that I went through with her, I just thank God that I'm able to show her, I was able to show her some grace. When she passed away, I had no animosity whatsoever towards her. I just looked at her as a broken person. She was broken. She had so many issues. And if you look at your own mother that you're having a problem with, you should be able to see that broken person. Nobody is perfect. None of us are perfect. You're not perfect. If you're a mother, you're not perfect. Your kids are going to grow up and they're going to have issues with things that you did. And the majority of us, we do things that we think in the moment are the right thing to do. The everything that decision that I made with my children, I was making them thinking they were the right things to do. And maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't. And maybe my kids don't see them as the right thing. Somebody is always going to, find fault. But this Mother's Day, try to find some grace. If, because right now, y'all calling everybody narcissistic. Everybody that you know. Lord, my hip is acting up today. Everybody that you know is a narcissist. So, if your mother was a narcissist, try to have some grace with her. Try not to look at her like she's the worst mother in the world, because 9 times out of 10, she only gave you what she had. Some people don't have a lot. People can only give you what they have. We get more as we grow and mature. But when I think about it, I had my first child when I was 22 years old. 22 is so young. So young. And I was 22 with a husband that had a lot of issues that I was trying to deal with. So I'm trying to deal with his issues. I'm trying to deal with these kids. I'm trying to deal with the alcoholic biological mother. There was a lot going on. And you have to take into consideration what was your mother dealing with? What was her mother like? What was her father like? What was her situation like? Just because we mothers don't mean we perfect. We got a life too. Everybody got a backstory. We all have a backstory or origin story. Mine just has two mothers. Two mothers and no father. And some of my childhood was spent thinking, did my mother really have something to do with the death of my father? So then that added another component to that situation. There was always this undercurrent of anger. So yeah, there was a lot going on with me. I'm just so grateful that my mother that adopted me, she came in and did everything she could to make sure that I had a stable, loving environment. And that's what I try to provide for my children, a stable environment. I didn't want to be like moving around a lot. with my kids. I wanted to make sure that they didn't go to like 50, 11 dozen different schools. There was always food in the house. The electricity was always on. We always had cable. It may have been bootleg at one time, but we still had it. You know, they always had a TV and a bed. So they can't say that they were homeless living on the street. That's not their story. But I think sometimes, as kids, we find a lot of fault in our parents. And that's one thing about me. I've never blamed my parents for anything that happened to me as an adult. Because as an adult, you're making your own decisions. Everything I did was what I wanted to do. So I don't blame anybody for my life. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up at. We want someone to blame for our misfortunes and for mistakes that we made. Oh, it's my mom's fault because she didn't do this, or oh, it's my dad's fault because he wasn't there or he didn't do. No, it's your fault because you're an adult. You had an opportunity to change those things and you chose not to. I made an opportunity not to drink like my mother. I didn't want to be an alcoholic. So that has always been in my mind. I will not drink in excess because I don't want to be an alcoholic like my mother. I had made that up in my mind when I was very young. So it is very rare. Now, if I go out or whatever, I may have one drink. One. And that's it. I have a bottle of Crown Royal now that I probably need to pour out because it's been in there for like 2 years. I don't drink. And I don't drink because of my mother. Because I'm scared that alcoholism can be hereditary. So I don't mess with alcohol like that. And I never have. And I've never done any hard drugs. I've never done anything other than marijuana. Because I've always been afraid of getting addicted to something. And I don't smoke cigarettes for a very short period of time, but I'm the type of person that if I get tired of doing something, I just won't do it, period. When I stopped smoking cigarettes, I just was like, I'm not smoking no more. I stopped going to the store buying them, and that was that. Like, I may go months without having a drink because I try my best not to have any type of addictive personality traits. The only thing that I am truly fighting my addiction to is Sprite. Sprite is like crack for me. I don't know why, but I be like legit craving it. I have to have my Sprite. That's the only thing that I truly like on a regular basis. But me and alcohol and cigarettes and any other type of drugs, we don't go anywhere together. And that's directly because of my mother. Because don't want to, I didn't want to, become addicted to anything. So I say all of this to say Mother's Day is coming. Try and give your mother some grace, because it's sad for me to be on social media and see so many people that, have hatred or unresolved issues with their mothers. And a lot of these people, your issues could be resolved if you talk to a therapist or talk to somebody. A lot of these things could be resolved. But you choose not, in your anger, you choose not to resolve them. You would rather hold on to all of that anger and hatred to someone instead of resolving those issues. But I had made up my mind that I didn't want to live my life in hate. I don't want to hate anybody. I may strongly dislike you, but I don't want to hate you. Especially someone that shares DNA with me. We are blood related. We share DNA. I don't want to hate you. I don't want to hate a stranger. So I definitely don't want to hate someone that I share DNA with. So Mother's Day is coming. And if you're having some issues with your mother, try to figure them out before it's too late. I'm so grateful that before my mother took her last breath, I had already dealt with a lot of the issues that I had with her. And even though she died with a secret that I was really hoping she would clear up, I still didn't. I didn't hate her. Or I wasn't mad, because it was already a secret. So why get mad? It was already a secret. So she just kept that secret. She took that secret to her grave. And I hope one day when I pass away and we meet each other again, she will be able to explain herself. Because I'm a believer that the ancestors meet you when you pass. So I'm hoping when I pass, my mom and dad will meet me and they will okay, look, I need y'all to tell me what's going on. What happened? I deserve to know. I'm your child. Tell me what happened. Shit. Since you left here and didn't tell me. So tell me what happened. And if not, it's a secret anyway. So who knows? So that's it, y'all. I hope you guys have a happy Mother's Day. My husband actually has to work. Um, and I always tell my kids I don't like going out to dinner on Mother's Day because it's always so crowded. And I don't like all that. I don't like going out and having to wait for an hour before we can be seated. I don't like all that shit. Just bring me some flowers and a card and some candy or something, and that's that. I don't, I'm not really into all of that stuff. My husband, he has to work, so he's not going to be here until later on in the evening. So I told him that we would probably go out tomorrow somewhere and just like spend some time together because I don't want to go out to dinner. Definitely not. That's not my thing. So that's it, y'all. I don't know what I just did. I got people in the bushes. No one is brave enough to say what their relationship is with their mother. If you got a good mother, I'm happy for you. You know, because I did. I had a great mother, and I told her that a lot. You know, when she got sick, I was there. You know, visiting her all the time because she was in a nursing home. My mother that adopted me, she was in a nursing home because she got really sick, and I was there every day until she. It was kind of like she had dementia because her mind was. She never forgot who I was though, but she would forget, that she was in a nursing home. But when I showed up, she knew who I was and everything. But her mind with other people and nurses, like she was fearful of the nurses, and it was a lot going on. But when her mind was together, she knew that I loved her and I knew she loved me. And, you know, we just had some really, really good memories. Really good. Just, if my photo albums and stuff weren't in storage, I would show you guys. But I had some of the best. Hi, Debbie. I had some of the best birthday parties. I mean, my mom was like, she was a good cook. She was a good homemaker. Like, she loved doing stuff like, putting parties together. And, she was that mother. You came over to my house you were on a play date with me or whatever, and she would make cookies and like iced tea or Kool-Aid, or and bring out platters of sandwiches, little tuna sandwiches cut in little squares and stuff. Like, she would always make stuff for me and my friends. Like, if we were outside playing, my mother was the mother that would put the big picture of ice water on the porch with like paper cups and stuff. So if we got thirsty, we didn't have to drink out the water hose. Now, at my friend's house, we would have to drink out the water hose. But at my house, my mother would put out a picture of ice cold water with little Dixie cups and stuff. So we didn't have to drink out the water hose at my house. Plus, it wasn't no water hose there to drink out of. So, she was just that Martha Stewart of a mother. So, I had a good childhood. Really, really good. Just a really good childhood. So, sometimes it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad sometimes when I see people who don't like their parents, especially don't like your mother. How could you not like the person? Well, I know how. I know there are some mothers out here who, have done some horrendous things. But there are things that are forgivable. You can't just not like your mother because she got an attitude. Because 9 times out of 10, you got an attitude too. Debbie said, "Is the deceased still with us in spirit? How do we know?" The ancestors are with us, yes. The only way you know is if you feel them. Now, all the spooky stuff that they show you on in movies, and I don't subscribe to that, and that's not my belief. But I do believe that our ancestors are with us, and these are people that we are blood related to. Your ancestors are people that you are related to. Yes, your mother. Your mother is still with us. If she chooses to be. If she wants to be. Now that's the thing too. She don't have to be. That's up to her. If she wants to be with us. Well, with you. She is. But if she don't, then she not. So if you do some ancestor um, work, you'll find out if she is. How long ago has she passed? You said she just passed. What's just passed? There are no signs. I can't just give you signs like that. When did she pass? Because that has a lot to do with it also. When did she pass? March the 29th. Where are we? Or Debbie, are you African American? I can't tell from your. Because that has a lot to do with it too. What religion was your mother? What did she practice? Was she Christian? Was she a real Christian? Was she like a diehard Christian? Because if she was, she probably gone. When? Right after she passed? Because there's a period when the spirit lingers, but as the days go by, they get farther and farther away from us. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult for our ancestors who were Christians because they don't have that belief. You know, sometimes they have to be coaxed back here. Like, I don't see my mother that often. And when I do, normally it's just in dreams. Because my mother, I don't think she, I don't think this is her thing. I think she was ready to leave this earth, and I don't think she would want to come back here. If anything, my mother would be the person that is just like praying for me from the other side. Like, she ain't coming back here to be throwing no coins or spraying no perfume and all of that kind of stuff. I can't see her doing that because she was a Christian, a very, very serious Christian. And I can't see her wanting to return to this plane for anything. But that doesn't mean that they can't intercede for you on the other side. And that's all I want anyway. I'm not out here looking for my ancestors to be dropping hints and clues and moving stuff around. And that's not what I want. Well, is that something that you want? It seems like it's something that you want. Do you want that? Because that's not what I'm looking for. Because if there's no message in there for you, if you're not receiving anything from it, it's no message, then what is it? Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something? Okay, well, you got it. Maybe that's it. Some people, you need that. Are you looking for closure? What are you looking for? Because so every little thing now is, oh, that's my mom. Is does that make you feel? Does it make you feel better? Yeah. Once I leave here, I mean, I don't want to come back. There's not gonna be any reason for me to come back. Like, I feel whatever I can do that from a distance. I've served my purpose here. I'm not going to want to return like that. Yeah, but I don't think, I think it's more on a spiritual level than we understand. Like, you don't return with the same consciousness that you left here with. Well, that's good. Maybe they feel like they come when they feel like you need them. Maybe that's your security. Well, we do leave. You know, we leave. We don't. You will leave your son when you transition. You will leave. Now there may be a part of you, and if your son doesn't have any connection to his ancestors or is doing some type of ancestral work, he won't understand that it's you. So you will leave. People need to understand that death is death for a reason. You cannot stay here forever. Once you leave, that's it. Once you close your eyes and go to sleep, that's it. You are deceased. You can't stay here forever. In the spirit, you leave also. The spirits don't all just stay here. You leave in the spirit also. Your spirit is not around your children 24/7. Your spirit leaves also. There's no then what reason would you have to die if you were still going to stay here? That makes no sense. If you're going to die, what what sense does it make for you to still just stay here and linger after death? That's no rest for your spirit. So you want to die and then be lingering around the living, wishing that you were still alive? No, that makes no sense. My mom passed away a few years ago. I miss her so much. Her birthday is coming up this month. Yeah, I miss both of mine. I mean, both of them, one of them brought me in this world and the other one took care of me. I don't miss them equally, but I do miss them both. And I don't want them to be here. I want them to, you know, live your spiritual life where you are. I don't want you to come back here and have to, and I do ancestral work, but I don't expect my ancestors to stay here after they have transitioned from this world. I don't expect them to stay here with me. I'm going to hold you hostage in this life that you have transitioned from. I still want that. That's selfish. It's selfish. They have transitioned. Why would I want to hold you hostage somewhere that you have left? I don't want them here. I don't understand your question. Have you heard of people seeing them dead as they transition? If they transition, they are dead. They're dead, right? When you transition, you're dead. You're dying. I don't understand what you're trying to say. You too, sweetie. I plan on just, it's, I don't want to say it's another day, but I don't, I never really do anything special on Mother's Day because I don't like going to like restaurants and stuff because they're always too crowded. So I normally don't do that. I don't know. It is kind of like another day. If you don't practice, if you don't practice a tradition that honors the ancestors, I can't tell you how to do that. That's something that you have to, you know, you have to work with the Orishas and your ancestors. I can't, I'm not going to go into how to do that over a video. Not unless I have a video that is, really dedicated to that. But, if you don't have an Orisha practice, you don't have like godparents or someone to teach you how to do it correctly, I'm not going to go into that in a video. And I'm pretty sure you're not doing that because the line of questioning that you're asking, has kind of led me to know that you don't have an understanding of any of that. Well, maybe they did. Maybe when they were transitioning, their deceased loved one came for them. Maybe someone came to meet them. Why are you around so many people that are transitioning? Like, do you have some type of, some people like to be around death. Do you have some type of something that you like to be around dead people? Like, I haven't been around one person that took their last breath. And I'm 58 years old. I don't know you, so I don't know what your intent is. How can I know your intent if I don't know you? I don't know you. So, of course, how it's going to be received is going to just be received because I don't know you or your intent. Was that his food?
Yeah, he ate. Yeah,
No, you fed him twice?
yeah.
Lord, this dog done ate 2 helpings.
You fed him already?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't know he had ate.
And he sat there and ate it.
Yeah. I didn't know
You
he had
little
ate.
greedy monster.
I mean,
What's all that on his head?
That's from him hanging out over
Come here.
in the bush. Shake it off.
Come here.
He's on the other side there. Shake.
Boy, come here.
No, I didn't know he had ate.
Well, he ate twice.
Yeah, I threw some cheese in there and
Oh, he did.
he had a good time.
He done already had 2 sausages and a whole plate of food. And then he turned around an hour later.
I put the pepperoni sticks in
Boy,
there.
you gonna have the diarrhea.
That's probably why he wanted to come out here. He
You
probably
gonna be
had to come
pooping all over the place.
in. Come on, dude.
I know he got to poop. Don't y'all lock me out. What you got your plate for?
Because I was going to the kitchen and he wanted to come out here.
Oh. Your paternal grandmother, your uncle, and your mom. Oh, okay. Yeah, you just don't really see a whole lot of people that have witnessed a lot of people transition. But some people have a fascination with death. And I was just wondering, were you one of those people? Tammy said, I've tried to renew my membership several times and it won't go through. Maybe when I get a new phone, it will. Yeah, it should be working now, Tammy. Allow me to respectfully clarify my reasoning for the question. I had a conversation recently on this subject and wanted another perspective. Okay. No, I was just wondering how you had witnessed so many people transitioning. Because most people don't. But if it's your grandmother, what'd you say? Your grandmother, your uncle, and your mom. I can see your mom. I can see your grandmother. It's saying the password is not right. I reset it and still says the wrong password. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I still haven't even been able to copy the link to post it on the thing because I don't think people with iPhones can see it. Because I can't. I can't see it on the channel. I do not fascinate death. Absolutely not. but have been blessed per se to be a strength during their body leaving the earth. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that wasn't. I didn't want to. I actually didn't want to be there. Like, I was there. I was close with both of them, but I wasn't there when they took their last breath, and I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to. I didn't want to see that. I'm not that person. Yeah, that's my thing, Latasha. I think once people leave here, they should be at peace. Especially if they had gotten to a point where, they were sick and they lived a long life. And especially like with my biological mother, her situation on this earth was really not the best. So I really don't even mess with her like that. I honor her as an ancestor and I let that be because I know she didn't have a whole lot of peace while she was here. So she ain't one of the ancestors that I really mess with. I just kind of, I honor her and I just let her go. Because why would I want to me that's selfish. Why would I want to draw you back to a place where you wasn't even happy when you was here? You didn't live the best life. You wasn't happy. So why would I want you to come back here to a place where you wasn't even happy? I'm not doing that. Oh, Debbie said I didn't want to see it, but it happened. Tammy said I've seen a lot of people transitioning because I have a huge family. I don't bother my loved ones that pass on, not even my children. They did come, but I don't hang on to them. Yeah, I leave them alone because I feel like you've already lived your life. And this is, I'm looking at the people in my family. Hey, Cheryl, I'm looking at the people in my family. The people in your family may be different, but I feel like you've already lived your life. Why do I want you to come back here? For what? Every now and then, I love the fact that I see my mother that raised me. I've only seen my biological mother in a dream one time since she passed. And that was fine for me. But my mother that raised me, when she passed, I was looking for her in dreams. Every now and then, she will come to me. She's happy. She's healthy. And when my mother passed, she was very sick. Very, very sick. She was on hospice. I mean, she was sick. Every time she comes to me in a dream, she's always healthy. She's always smiling. My mother always prided herself with having this beautiful coal black hair. And she always kept her hair pressed. Always. That hair was always going to be pressed. My mother had an issue with nappy hair. So the hair was pressed. Okay? Every time I see her in a dream, the hair is always looking nice. I be like, look at you, girl. You looking good. She's always looking good. She's always smiling. That's the only way I want to see her. I'm not trying to smell her perfume. Every now and then, it seems like I'm smelling a pound cake or something, and it just always makes me smile. That's all I need. I'm not looking for nothing else. I'm not, I'm just not, because I want her to be happy. I want her to be somewhere where she can be healthy and, you know, not think about what she went through in this world, because I know it was a lot. So I'm not looking for the dead. A lot of you get so hung up on the dead when you need to be concentrating on the people that's living, the relationships that you're building with people that are living. So I'm not really sure. It does kind of, because I don't know you. It is coming off with, a fascination for the dead. And I'm not into that. I do believe in, honoring your ancestors. But honoring your ancestors is different from fascinating on the fact that they're dead and looking for them in every situation. Every time you find a penny or every time you smell some sweet perfume, it ain't your mama or your grandmama. It's just not. It's just perfume. Or you just found a penny. And you could be miscommunicated because, like I said, I don't know you. I don't know you. You're throwing out these small questions on a channel. I don't know you. We're not getting context. I'm not, able to get anything from your question. So we could be miscommunicating. Debbie said, I thank my mom for letting me know she is okay, but no, I certainly didn't mean she should remain here for me. I was the one. I spoke the last words to her. No, but you said, or somebody said, I'm not leaving my kids. I'm gonna be here for my kids. I'm not leaving my kids. My mother didn't leave me. And you have to leave your kids. When I leave here, I'm gone. And I want my kids to understand that. Let me go. My children have lost their father. Unfortunately, he passed away. My husband is not my kids' father. My kids' father was my first husband. And he has passed away in 2011, when me and my husband, who I'm married to now, we had just got back together because we were high school sweethearts. And we had just got back together. And a couple of months after we got back together, my first husband, who was my kids' dad, passed away. And my kids are going to know. And I'm an initiated practitioner. But when I pass, I'm gone. Now, am I going to be watching over you and, interceding for you if I can, we ain't going to know what's really going on till we die. We're just taking other people's words for what we're going to be able to do when we transition. Okay? These are all man-made philosophies, because ain't nobody died and got the scoop and been able to come back and really tell us what's going to happen. So when I leave here, before I go, I'm going to tell my kids, when I'm gone, I'm gone. If I can intercede for you or help you in any kind of way, I'm going to be there doing it. But if I get there and figure out all this stuff that I thought on earth ain't how it is, then I can't. Live your life. My mother told me long before she passed away, before she got sick, she was like, don't be running out to the cemetery, because I'm not there. Ain't nothing at this cemetery but some bones. Don't run out here. I'm gone. I gave you everything I had before I left. So it don't make no sense for you to be running out to this cemetery, bringing flowers and all that kind of stuff. I'm gone. I feel the same way. As a matter of fact, I want to be cremated. I don't even worry about the cemetery and all that shit. Cremate me, sprinkle my ashes in the sea. I don't want anybody looking for me and, oh, I smell something. Was that mama? I don't want you to do that. Love me while I'm here so that when I'm gone, you won't have to worry about me. Love on me so much while I'm here that when I'm gone, that love will still continue to cover you and you won't be looking for me. That's what I want. Yeah, I said my mom said that to me, that she said she'll always be near us. So my question was, does the deceased are still able to be here in spirit? Probably not the way your mother. She probably said that to make you feel good. You know that I'll never leave you. Hopefully, because she planted that seed of love in you. I'll never leave you like that. That's it. That spirit, that seed that she planted in you, that love will never leave you. But mama gone. Okay? Mama is gone. Let her go. So the dead can visit us in dreams, not just in spirit. Yeah, my family don't believe in crematory. Oh, in cemetery visits. My mom was cremated as well. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, black folks, we didn't used to believe in cremation because my mother had paid for her everything. The only thing I had to pay was the tax. My mother didn't believe in no cremation. She was like, don't you burn me up, because it was her feeling that during the rapture, this is supposed to be, this the Christian thing. During the rapture, Jesus is coming back for your body. The dead in Christ shall rise. And if you cremated, it ain't nothing to rise because they didn't burn you up to ashes. So my mama was like, don't mess me up. When Jesus come back, I want to be able to go, I want my body to be able to get up. I'm be like, you know what, he gonna have to take my spirit because they gonna burn my body up. And I'm just gonna have to deal with Jesus when I get there. Because I don't want to be at no cemetery waiting for Jesus to call me. I have let her go March the 29th, was just wondering if the spirit returns to be with us or if it was possible. I mean, I do believe that, you know, those dreams that we have, especially of relatives who have passed on that were close to us, especially like our mom and our dad, that's the spirit. That's it. That's them coming to you, letting you know that they're okay. You notice we don't see them in the natural. And I've talked to people who are initiated, who are priests, who, are really deep into the faith. Once a person passes, they're gone. And we have to accept that. You're not going to see them in the natural. You'll see them in a dream state. It's interesting because my sister passed away when she was 3 months old. I was 2 years old when she passed. I've never seen her because my mind can't go back. Your mind is only going to store so many memories and bring them to the forefront. Those memories may be there, but you cannot access them. I can't access a memory from when I was 2 years old. I'm 58. Those memories are locked away. So I've never seen my sister in a dream. I've never seen my father in a dream. Never. Because I was 5 years old when he passed away. I was too young. Your mind, and he just has not come to me. And I have wanted him to come when I got older. Like I wanted to see him in a dream, and I never have. The only people that I've seen is my mother's. Those are the only people that have come to me after they passed away. So, I don't know. These are my experiences. Now, maybe yours will be different. Maybe your relationship with your father, of course, was different than mine. I was the one who told my mom to go. Definitely not fascinated with death or want her here. Just wanted to know if she's reaching out to me because I feel her through strange things happening. But are they strange things, or do you just, consider them strange because this is what you want? Sometimes we will piece things together to make them what we want them to be. Because you want this. You want to see her. You want that connection. So you haven't seen your mom, only your cousin? Yeah, I haven't seen anybody, none of my other relatives. I have a cousin that I was really close to growing up who passed away. I've never seen her. I've never seen anybody other than my mother. And I really don't want to see people, though. I'm not that person. Even though a lot of people, for some reason think that I am, I ain't that person. I don't want to see dead people. I believe that, they should be where they supposed to be. I'm not looking for you. I'm too busy dealing with the people that are alive. No, I take that back. I did see my ex-husband. I've seen him a few times. He's come to me in dreams a few times. But that's about it. Yeah, like I mean, even with my mom, I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. I want them to be happy where they are. I don't want to have um I don't want anything else. I'm not looking for see some people, who are spiritual people, that is their thing. They work with the dead. They like working with the dead. They love going to cemeteries and You know, that's their thing. Children of Oya, if you're a child of Oya, you're fascinated with the dead. You're into the dead. You want to work with these deities that work with the dead. That's not me. I'm fascinated with the living. I don't even like going to funerals. It really have to be somebody that I cared deeply about for me to even come to your funeral. I'm not just, you could be my cousin and I may not come. I'm gonna know you died and I'm gonna feel, feel the feelings, but I may not want to come because I'm not into, you know, I'm a child of Oshun. We love the living, you know. Maybe you are a child of Oya because it does seem like that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that connection with the dead. And that's not me. I don't I don't think about it. I'm thinking about my mom, my mothers, and I'm talking about them because it's coming up close to Mother's Day. But I don't have to see them. I want them to be happy where they are, you know, because I feel like they both dealt with so much while they were here. I want them to be resting. My question was about the dead only because I just lost my mom less than 2 months ago, so I'm grieving, especially since Mother's Day. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody that has lost their mom, whether it was last month or any time, grieve around this time. Everybody, because your mother is not here. You don't have your mother here during this special time. Of course, your grief is fresh because you just lost your mother, but we all have that same feeling because our mothers are not here. Around Mother's Day, I lost my mother in 2011, my mother that raised me, and I think my biological mother passed in 2008, I think. And it will come up like it was just yesterday because it's Mother's Day and they're not here. So, we all share those same feelings around this time. Just like for Father's Day, I will feel the same way because my dad is not here. And I know that he's passed on. And it's not like my dad is in Texas and I'm in California. No, my dad is deceased. So yeah, it's different. But not at all fascinated or interested in subjects about dead people. Not at all. My grief is fresh, so it's difficult. So that's why I purposed the question since I saw you were discussing others. Okay. Yeah, I mean, your grief is fresh. But even though my grief is older than yours, grief is grief. My mama ain't here. And I done lost two, not just one, two mothers. Okay, Latasha, I'm getting ready to go too, because it's almost 2 hours. I don't like to stay on here that long. And it's starting to get hot out here. Gosh, how hot is it? It's supposed to be warm this weekend. 71 degrees. And it feels like it. It feels like it. So it was nice talking to you, Debbie. I mean, I hope this is your first Mother's Day without your mom. And yeah, it's difficult. And I'm not going to say that, it gets better, because every year you're going to have a Mother's Day and your mom is not going to be here. I think we we all feel that way. Wasn't no, I'm not saying you're questioning my grief. I know. No, that wasn't where I was going. I was just saying that, no matter how long our mothers have been gone, people that have lost their mother, you're still going to, feel it's still going to be a little bit harder on Mother's Day than it is, just say a regular day. But for you, you just lost. Like, you just lost your mom. You just, like, if she had a funeral, you just had her services and everything. So everything is, like, super fresh. But I'm saying for me, like, it happened in 2011. But, like, on Mother's Day, it just seems like it was just yesterday also. Because, because she's not here. They're not here. But I'm here, and I have kids that will honor me, grandkids. So I'm still going to, have a nice time, spend time with the family. But, you do still have the thought of your own mother. That's always going to be in the back of your mind, no matter how long it's been. Oh, you didn't do a funeral? Yeah, a lot of people are, opting out for all of the formal stuff now when it comes to death. Funerals are so expensive for no reason. Like, they doing too much when it comes to caskets and services and all that stuff now. A lot of people are opting out, and I don't blame them, to save money, because that's just money that you're basically just giving away. I mean, my mom had paid for everything, and I think she had some type of burial insurance. So, she had been paying for that stuff for a long time. But, so, I didn't have to come out of pocket since I was her only child. But still, it was expensive. Yeah, you have to enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself with your kids. You were blessed enough to have children, so enjoy yourself with your kids. That's what I plan on doing. I got two human children and a fur baby, and I plan on just relaxing and enjoying myself. That's all I'm gonna do. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for coming in and participating in today's discussion. I hope that you have a happy Mother's Day. If your mother is not here, you can honor her, and hopefully if you have children, your children will take you out and spend some time with you. It's not about gifts and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's more about, making lasting memories and stuff with your children, just having a good time. So I hope you all have that. Funerals are okay if that's what a person desires, but for me and my family, we aren't. Yeah, that was what my mom wanted. So, I obeyed her wishes, but it's not for me either. Not like that. So I'm probably going to do a video if me and my husband go out tomorrow. So we'll probably do like Mother's Day vlog or something. And I hope you guys watch it. So I'll see you guys later. I love you. Bye.